Всем привет, с вами Отец Сет. Сегодня мы посмотрим два видоса. Первое видео будет с канала Duck Production. Мега занятные теории, часть первая. Ну давайте глянем, что за теории.
Теория заключается в том, что весь фильм, а может и вся вселенная Томаса, это трип Джуниора.
Что? Окей.
С чего я так решил? Просто посмотрите на свисток Джуниора. Это же вылитый косяк.
Джуниор, а ты чё это у нас? Косячки подтягиваешь? Да поняли, мы поняли уже.
Также в моменте, когда Джуниор поднимется на холм, он упоминает то, что у него есть аллергия на траву.
Да.
Возможно, из-за этого у него случился бэд-трип, вследствие чего мы получили живых паровозов с лицами и нарушение законов физики.
Интересно, интересно.
Вместо Пуджа буду я. Продолжим о теории. Стоит заметить, что золотая пыль – это именно порошок.
А порошок это обычный. Есть разные лекарства. Я по лимиту озвучки не влез.
Теория подтвердилась.
Короче, всем пока.
В общем, все понятно. Я описание уже прочитал, это всего лишь рофл. Так что мы идем дальше. А следующее видео будет с канала Lemmy the Bulldog Talk. Видео называется «Кто контролирует Дизеля 10? Теории». Давайте глянем.
Old McDiesel had a plan. You captured the real me. I mean, that's beautiful. I could cry.
that we're here.
What makes Diesel 10 so fascinating to me, besides his aesthetic looks of this big badass mammoth of destruction with a hydraulic death machine perched atop his roof, and his snarling voice with a Jersey accent provided by Neil Crone and Thomas and the Magic Railroad,
Help you?
is that he literally comes out of freaking nowhere. There was a book that was made. It was a very short, storied picture book called Diesel 10 Means Trouble. And it only explains that he was brought from the mainland to help out on the railway. And that's really it. He's brought in from the mainland, he ends up being a big bully, and he gets sent away. And that was it. There was no other explanation other than that. And the number one thing that I always found fascinating is because Thomas has always established that there are drivers for the engines in the show. And they're there to provide some kind of control over the sentient locomotives. But Diesel 10, who the hell is driving him?
Да никто, он сам ездит.
I mean, whoever it is never seen on screen. But they established that he does have a driver because of a little clear spot on his front window where it looks like someone was using the wiper blades to wipe away any grime, so whoever's in that cab can see where the hell they're going. So, who the hell is driving him? Just a fun little piece of trivia here. Diesel 10's original voice in Thomas and the Magic Railroad was provided by Keith Scott, who gave off this dastardly British James Bond villain-like voice, and I kind of wish it was him that got the chance to voice him, but he was deemed too scary.
Aha! The blue puffball! And just look who else I found!
Не знаю, мне Нил Кроун нравится больше в роли Дизеля 10, чем Кит Скотт.
Splodge! Get up here and destroy!
Along comes Neil Crone, who was just playing Splatter and Dodge and Gordon in the movie, and he happened to improvise a goofy Russian accent in the sound booth, and Britt Allcroft loved it so much that she decided to use it, but executives and test audiences thought it was too offensive. So that was scrapped, and we now have the New Jersey accented Diesel 10 that we grew up with.
Cranky, worn-out hunks of metal who couldn't hurt a fly.
But he did a sample of this Russian voice on a podcast recently, and I love the way it sounds, and I kind of wish it stuck to it, stuck to the movie.
You know, he talked like that all the time, and he was always
Нихера себе вот это да.
To Pinchy, his crane on top. And he used to get really upset with Pinchy. Stop that! What do you think you're doing?
Another interesting thing that was
Круто.
removed from Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and this was really deemed to be too scary, is that Diesel 10 was supposed to die at the ending,
А, ну да, это правда.
drowning in sludge. And you could see by this concept art of how nightmarish a
А это же, по-моему, фанатский арт был сделан, разве нет?
sequence like that would be. But in all honesty, it reminds me of a lot of Disney villain deaths, especially the one of Scar from The Lion King. But this is a really fucking creepy image.
Нет, по-моему, фанаты сделали вот этот концепт-арт.
I can only imagine what it would have looked like in the actual movie had it been implemented. We can only speculate from now.
Ну, так, кто его контролирует?
Getting back to the original question, who the hell is controlling Diesel 10? Just who the hell is driving him? There's a few theories, mainly fan theories, that I found online. I will read some now. Some of them are plausible, and others are just, well, left up to speculation, because all it is just speculation, right? So, theory number 1 states that Diesel 10 is driven by artificial intelligence.
Чего? Искусственный интеллект? Ладно, слушаем.
Yeah, an AI, and the AI made him into a villain.
Так может, Дизель здесь вообще робот?
Maybe he's run by Skynet, you know, the AI that tried to erase humanity in the Terminator movies.
Чё? Чё за бред?
It kind of makes sense, especially the way Diesel 10 interacts with his claw. His claw Pinchy seems to have a mind of its own sometimes, but usually ends up causing humiliating scenarios for Diesel 10, making him look like a clumsy klutz than an intimidating villain.
Now that's gonna ruin my facial.
Theory 2 is that he's driven by an evil scrap merchant. A lot of fans speculate Diesel 10 worked at a scrapyard on the mainland.
Here. He was used for rail maintenance around the island, but he loved hanging out at the smelters, crunching scrap ready to be melted down.
That's why he's been implemented with an illegal modification of a crane and claw to him. The claw is used for crunching up scrap to be smelted down for loading trucks full of it, and also could be used for murdering sentient steam engines for their metal.
Да.
And his driver controlling him does so all of this for the sake of profit for the scrap metal. It's really dark, but that kind of makes sense.
Так.
Theory 3 is that he's the only independent locomotive on Sodor. He makes his own decisions, he's in complete control of himself with no driver, and is just an entity of pure evil in
Ну, вот это вот третье уже как-то, мне кажется, более правдоподобное.
the
А то какие-то интеллекты искусственные. Блин.
universe alone. An angel of death, if you will. The demise of steam locomotives and steam in general. For the future of dieselization. Steam locomotives get scrapped and they get torn apart by this guy. Yeah. Oh, hold the phone for a second. What is this here? In this picture. Let me enhance this a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in. And we'll zoom in again.
Чё?
And we'll zoom in again.
Ой, не надо нас обманывать. Да-да-да, верим.
Joking aside, imagine if that was headcanon, that the Fat Controller was the one in the driver's seat the whole time. Up front, he's the stern but caring savior of steam locomotives, while also murdering them with a nightmarish diesel and a hydraulic claw.
Ой, не надо нам вот эту вот херню рассказывать.
That would be pretty funny.
Ну да.
I think what I like best is not knowing. Because some things are just better left unexplained. It adds to the depth and keeps people guessing. And I doubt that there will be any confirmation from one of the crew members or writers as to what they would have thought of if they had to reveal a driver for Diesel 10. Sometimes the unknown is just all the more fascinating.
Ну что ж, на этом у нас все. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки и всем пока-пока.